Universal Epic Universe is taking huge strides to hit its goal of opening in the summer of 2025. This is Justin from Adventures Away, and today we're going to go over the changes since our last update about a week and a half ago. If you don't already, go and follow BioReconstruct on Twitter for more Epic Universe pictures and updates. And starting out with the two offsite hotels being constructed, the first hotel being constructed is getting more of the multicolored tiles being applied to the exterior facade of the hotel. Compared to last week, where just a little section about the first window was complete, the entire first floor is now complete, and they are starting work on the second floor of this facade. Out back behind the hotel, the excavation for the pool and hot tub are continuing to take shape, as well as a outside building around the pool has been constructed since our last update. The lobby cover for the hotel has taken shape. This is where guests will enter and exit the hotel to check in, check out, and the main entrance. Over at the second hotel, they continue to make vertical progress, placing these pre-formed concrete sections into the hotel. They have added about another floor and a half since our update about a week and a half ago, as well as pouring foundation for the lobby entrance, as well as the maintenance center. Moving into the park, in the central hub, rebar has been added in the basement of the Rumor Carousel ride, more than likely to be foundation for the ride. At number 3, concrete is being poured for more of the water features. This is a zoomed in image of that arch now. Work continues on the seating around the main feature pond where the Villaggio style fountain will perform shows, as well as walkways going between these fountains. It continues to get work. A flowing water feature has recently been poured in front of the park's restaurant in the central hub. The plastic is more than likely covering the freshly poured concrete, protecting it from the elements while it cures. This water feature can be seen at the number 1 in this zoomed out picture of the central hub and 3 supports for the main hotel. The joints in the basin of the main fountain that have been open in recent updates have since been filled. There is one joint that is still being actively filled, seen in this picture here. Exterior work continues at the rumored barbecue restaurant inside of the park, as well as the kiosks outside. One of the kiosks has recently gotten a copper roof added, as you can see, near the domed structure where the rumored carousel ride is. All throughout the central hub, most of the main buildings have had their foundation and framework and are receiving their facade work, with most of the detail work still being worked on. Plumbing around the waterside restaurant when you first enter the park is seen at number 3. As you enter the park to the left, going towards the right, you will approach this fork in the road. To the left, you will go to the waterside restaurant, and to the right, you will continue into the central hub of the park. The largest change in the park since our last update is over in the Isle of Berk, where the 2 spinning rides have since had their ride arms installed and are starting to receive their detail. These rides will look like they are propelled by a dragon on one end of the opposite end of the arm where the riders are mounted. You can see the dragon on the upper end of this arm here that was recently installed. One of its wings is still staged on ground, but it will look as if this dragon is propelling this ride arm and the riders throughout right next to the counterweight. These twin spinning rides have a barrel look to the main columns, and it is safe to say that in our next update, we should be able to see a mainly completed set of rides here once the dragons are installed on both, and the part where the riders will be on is installed as well. In the main lagoon, the load station for the boat ride in number 1 has been covered up by wood, and the construction of the wooden bridge at number 2 has been newly added. Rockwork continues at number 3 along the Great Hall as well. There is an interesting excavation pit represented at number 3 right outside of the Great Hall. In this view, you can see 2 of 3 wooden bridges over the lagoon that will cross over in the land, and the theater attraction has since received almost all of its roof. We no longer can see the inside as we could in the last update. Over at the roller coaster in the land, the wood roof that was under construction in the last update has been completed. The detail work remains. The load station is to the right, and steel framing has been constructed over the first launch of the coaster. Work around the lagoon continues. At number 4, plastic is covering the wooden bridge from the concrete spills just in case. And there is number 2, where the recently added 3rd wooden bridge was. Rockwork continues around the exterior of the lagoon. Number 3 is the Viking ships that have been completed and painted. And number 2 is that excavation pit that was previously mentioned. Looking back into the central hub, it is truly amazing how busy the hub is and how well that the traffic will flow throughout the park. Looking at the backside behind the hotel coming down, this gives you a representation of how massive this park is going to be when completed. The portal to the rumored land named Dark Universe will be a massive portal compared to the others. It will be a large tree trunk with roots sprawling over rocks. Right behind the portal, you have these 2 buildings that have their facade that look to be ready to receive its theming. In this area, looking down the walkway of Dark Universe, number 2 are those buildings that we just talked about. Number 3 is the entrance to the featured attraction, where the front of the building will be the Gothic style mansion. Number 4 is a rumored food stand, and number 5 is the second launch to the rumored spinning roller coaster. The boom lifts in this view are working on the windmill frame at the top of your screen, and all the theming elements that are marked off in orange currently restaurant just outside of the entry portal to the land. Number 3 represents the track to the Yoshi Adventure Ride. Number 2 is where you come down from the entryway. Mount Beanpole continues to get its work done throughout the detailing. This is another view of the Yoshi Adventure Ride. Over at the Donkey Kong Minecart roller coaster, the track has received most of the railroad ties that the cars will be riding on in the view of the riders, where the track will actually be riding on the yellow track below. The arrow points to a jump in the track that the cars will be jumping over, in quotes, while the boom coaster type design continues on the continuous track. Over at the main entrance of the park, number 1 represents arched walls that will connect the pillars on the left side of the entrance as well, where that building is continuing getting its roof work done. Just outside of the entrance buildings to the park, there is the ticketing building continuing to get work done for the opening in 2025. That is all for today's Epic Universe update, and I hope that everyone is continually getting more and more excited as we get closer to the grand opening in 2025. This has been Justin from Adventures Away. Please remember to like this video and subscribe for more Universal Epic Universe construction updates. Until next time, have a great one.